the 13th, 2021. I'm Gene, and you're hanging with Uncle. Zane is taking some well-deserved R&R. He and his dad are hanging out together, and I'll let him tell you next week, what they were doing. But I'm jealous of where they are and what they're doing, and my hat's off to them. Enjoy, guys. And anyway, we'll start it off by introducing the strain of the week, which is Northern Wonder, and it clocks in at 17%. But again, don't let the percentage fool you. This is a really good indica, and it's absolutely great for focusing and getting your mind on a task that you're doing. So let's get into it. I remember last week we said we would talk about what a turnkey system is and how that can help improve your credit score. So a quick definition of what a turnkey system is. It's basically setting up a system where you have certain bills that are paid on monthly increments or set up on a timely basis that they automatically happen. It eliminates the need for you to sit down physically, wait for your mail to come with your bills, and then pay them. If you set it up automatically on the first, or I recommend you set it up on the second, and we'll talk about that in a second, but on the second of every month, I get paid once a month. I pay all my bills, and they're scheduled, and I'm done. I've been doing that for the past 20 years. And when I started, my credit score was like in the 500s. And now it's over 800, my highest one. So it's worked for me. And I really recommend it for you. So for example, if you get paid bi-weekly, like most people do, set your bills up to be paid every other Friday. And this is what I recommend, especially if you have a mortgage. If you set your mortgage payments up every 2 weeks instead of every month, it comes out to an extra mortgage payment every year, which cuts down your interest. Because if there's 12 months out of the year and you get paid every 2 weeks, that comes out to 26 payments, and you divide that by 2 and it's 13. So it feels like it's 13 months. So you're not spending any more money than you normally would, and you're increasing your credit score by paying your debt off and accelerating your mortgage, and that's always a good thing. I do that with my mortgage, with my car. And here's a misconception. So most people that I've introduced this to, the big pushback is, I don't want anyone reaching in my account. And if you set your finances up on a turnkey system, nobody's going into your account. The only entity that's going into your account is your car insurance, because that's set up for automatic payments out of your checking account to keep your payments down as kind of like a cost incentive. You get a discount. But that is the only time somebody is reaching into your account. What you're in fact doing when you set it up on a turnkey system is you're telling the bank, they're acting like your secretary, I want you to pay this bill this much on this date. And they set it up, they pay it, or not they pay it, but they send it out, saves you the cost of postage, and you save paper, because I haven't owned a check in 20 years either. I do everything online. So I hope this is beneficial as to understand what a turnkey system is. And when I say pay your bills and your finances, that also means paying yourself. So if you're young and just starting out and you get paid every 2 weeks and you want to start saving for your retirement tax-free, set up a Roth IRA where you automatically pay yourself, because that goes into your account, which bears a significant amount of interest. And over time, with that discipline, you'll have tax-free money to look forward to put your hands on for retirement. It's a great tool to utilize to improve your financial situation, and consistency with that system will improve your credit score. So I hope that's helpful. Like I said, it's the system. I'm retired now. I said I retired at 56, and this is the system that helped me get there. The only debt I have right now is my mortgage and my car payment. I have no credit card debt. It's good to be free of encumbrances, and that's what's called improving the quality of your life. So set up a turnkey system, do your banking online, and make sure you pay yourself. And if you're already funding your Roth IRA and want to put extra money away someplace, open an E-Trade account. That's what I do, and I invest that way directly. Now that I'm retired, there's no longer a need for me to have a Roth IRA. So there's ways to pay yourself, and if you set it up systematically, it's much easier to plan for things, and you can take care of all your responsibilities, and it's nothing but beneficial to you. So next week, we'll talk about income replacement. And without further ado, we'll get into the current events of the week, which for me, I think one of the most important things is to talk about the how out of control anti-vaccination has gotten. If you ignore science, you're not only putting your own life in jeopardy, but you're putting those around you, because you don't have to believe in science. Science believes in you. And COVID doesn't care if you don't believe in it. It believes in you, and it can't wait to spread and mutate. It's already, we know it's already as contagious as chickenpox, and we know how contagious chickenpox are. And it only makes sense to vaccinate yourself. But when you look at how dangerous this is, when you look at where it started, the birthplace of anti-vaccines, it came with number 45, the worst president that this country has ever seen, and definitely of my lifetime, and that was number 45. I remember as a kid going to school, we had to have shot records. Measles, mumps, rubella, polio. It was required, mandatory for you to go to school. And I went to private school, and I still had to have proof of these vaccinations. Nobody asked questions. You did it. So what now has changed in that 50-year time period, 60-year time period, that now people are so anti-vaccination? And it's this fat orange, persona that has started this. People are now crazy. The cray-crays out there denying the science. Just remember, in high school, every single one of us had to have science. And if you didn't believe in science, it was called getting an F. You failed. And now in life, not believing in science, it's failing, but it's possibly causing your own demise, and worse, those of others, because your stupidity is allowing this COVID COVID disease to spread, mutate, and infect more people at a more rapid pace. And we're seeing this across the southern states, across the Bible Belt, It makes no sense to me why people don't want to believe in the science. I mean, it's here for a reason. And excuse me for 1 second. Northern Wonder. So, yeah. When I look at the people that believe this orange round fat man with the world's biggest comb over, who believe that vaccines don't work, which, by the way, don't forget, he's had the vaccine. You're really, really cray-cray to believe this person. You've had all these vaccines yourself and know that they work. That's why you've never had polio. So what makes it so different about COVID? Because this fat bastard said vaccines don't work? Wake up, people. Wake up. Again, the vaccine was not rushed. It does not change your DNA. It doesn't make you gay. It doesn't make anything happen to you except protect you against this virus. And what's the on display and kind of like the effect of this is the way that our elected officials on the right side of the aisle are reacting to this. Because I remember January 6th, Lindsey Graham standing in the well of the Senate telling the American people he was done with the craziness that is Trump. He gets accosted, I guess, verbally by a mob in the airport as he's trying to go, and oh my God, he can't have that. He's so wishy-washy and just wants to go where the wind blows. He's back on the Trump wagon, kissing the ring, like he's got it from Mordor or something. And look what's happening in Florida and Texas now. DeSantis and Abbott are refusing to allow local municipalities to protect their residents. And forgive me if I'm wrong, but I thought part of the conservative movement was less government and allowing people to govern themselves. Yet these hypocrites are using government to restrict local government from taking care of themselves. And that's because of the crazy people that believe the last dude that occupied 1600 Pennsylvania. It's absolutely ridiculous to me how this is happening. It's just mind-boggling how weak these people are to bow to the crazy people that listen to the lies and nonsense that are coming out of this fat bastard. So, again, that's just my opinion. I believe I speak for the majority of the American citizens. That's why he lost the popular vote by by close to 8 million votes. So, again, if you don't believe in science and don't want to take the vaccine, stay away from me. Don't come to my house. Get the vaccine, diet, and loosen the population up on the planet. This is probably Mother Nature's way of telling us that we are killing her, so she's killing us first. Get vaccinated if you want to live. Anyway, let's talk about what's happening in Afghanistan. So, as we know, I support President Biden in his decision to withdraw our troops from Afghanistan. We've been there 20 years. We're spinning our wheels. It's running on a treadmill. Again, because of the support that the Taliban are getting from Pakistan, it's Vietnam all over again. If at least with Vietnam, we weren't there 20 years. With Afghanistan, we've been there longer. So yes, it is time to get out of Afghanistan. But now, the Taliban is gaining so much territory in Afghanistan at such a rapid pace that there is a global cry out to extricate people from Afghanistan before the Taliban kill them because of their efforts to work with the United States while we were in Afghanistan, defending them from the Taliban. So now Biden is sending more troops to Afghanistan to aid in the extraction of embassy personnel and all Afghanis, that's a different conversation, Afghanis who helped us in the past 20 years that we've been in Afghanistan. So this definitely has to happen. We have to act humanitarian on this. Again, put yourself in the other person's shoes, and what would you do? Would you want help to get out of that situation, to avoid death, certain death? We got to act, and we got to act fast. And I'm glad that this administration is doing that. And I hope we get as many people who want freedom, who want education for their children, especially their girls. It is very important we get as many people out of Afghanistan as possible, because the more people that we have educated, the more chances of a society that we have to eradicate things like COVID and polio and whatever's coming down the pipe after this one. So that's how I feel about this. It's strictly for humanitarian purposes. Again, do unto others. Yes, I would want someone to get me out of here if the same thing was happening. So thank you, President Biden. And I want to say this is not a result of Biden saying, well, we're going to withdraw from Afghanistan. Enough is enough. And if the Afghani people who are trained and armed by United States personnel after 20 years don't have the backbone to fight for themselves, what are we supposed to do? We're not the world's police force, unfortunately, but you have to consider the fact of people helping, you want to help people that want to help themselves. And we cannot help the Afghanis if they do not want to help themselves. They have to want to stand up and fight back. And if they don't, that's not the responsibility of the United States. And it's not the same thing as Iraq when President Obama pulled the troops out for a couple of reasons. Number one, the Iraqi people never wanted us there in the first place. 9/11 happened. Yes, it was terrible. We know Al-Qaeda was behind it. First of all the members of Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden himself, a majority of those 15 hijackers were born in Saudi Arabia. So why are we attacking Iraq? Saddam Hussein may not have been the nicest person in the world, but he had nothing to do with the attack on the Twin Towers. The Iraqi people never wanted us in their country from the first place. So when President Obama honored the treaty of President Bush to withdraw troops, he, tried to work with the Afghan government or the Iraqi government and leave more troops there because of ISIS. And remember, ISIS was born in 2003 when Bush invaded Iraq. Obama was not inaugurated till 2009, so we can knock that narrative off of Obama creating ISIS. He didn't. If anything, that was George Bush when he invaded Iraq. They may have accelerated their consumption of Iraqi territory after the troops left, but remember, the Iraqis did not want us there. It was not until they took Mosul that the Iraqis said, okay, we need your help, United States. And at the time, Vice President Biden was the one working with the Iraqi defensive units to help liberate Iraq of ISIS, at least most of Iraq anyway. So there's the difference right there. I believe had President Obama been successful in leaving troops in Iraq, that ISIS never would have obtained any of the land that they obtained during that time period. So that's just my opinion. And I think now, just for some sporting news, this is not my dumbass of the week, but I can't go without at least mentioning the Dennis Schroeder move from the Lakers. Why he turned down $84 million is beyond me. He signed with the Celtics for $5.9. That's a difference of $79 million that he lost. Look at what Montrezl Harrell did. It was a sign and trade. He accepted his money from the Lakers and then got traded, but at least he has his money. Schroeder left with nothing. Now, I'm not saying $6 million, 5.9 is chump change. I know I don't have it, but if somebody said, on this table right here, you can have $84 million, and on this table, you could have 5.9, I know which table I would choose. So that's just kind of like, how could that's a no-brainer, that's elementary school mathematics. Look for the greater than and less than symbols and understand which one should go in your pocket. I don't understand why he made that decision, who influenced him, who his agent is, but he definitely needs a new inner circle. My dumbass of the week, though, is still sports related and still with the NFL. And I'm going to let you just kind of sit for a second on that one while I do this for a minute. The Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is my dumbass for the week. Lamar Jackson is not only an anti-vaxxer, he's already had COVID once. But not only has he had COVID once, he's had it twice. And the vaccine is available, and he still doesn't know. He's not sure. Lamar, you're my dumbass of the week. And with that decision-making process, the Baltimore Ravens will never win a Super Bowl. Number one, I've played sports, organized sports. I've been in locker rooms. I mean, get vaccinated. You're really close with these guys. You're sweating. Droplets are flying. Vaccinate yourself. Protect your teammates. Don't be selfish and think about yourself. Protect your teammates. If you have no medical restrictions for getting the vaccine, then you're just being selfish. So get vaccinated. I don't know how else to really describe that. I think it's pretty obvious that COVID is one of my pet peeves right now because I'm watching the breakthrough infections with the Delta variant. I've been vaccinated, and I don't want my vaccination to be discounted because some selfish person doesn't want to believe in science. It doesn't affect just you. Wake up. I mean, I have been fully vaccinated since early March. I never had side effects. I've never had issues. I've never had problems. I have not had a cold. Nothing has happened to me since being vaccinated. I feel much more confident now that I'm protected from this deadly virus, and I would like to stay protected. And I would like to ask everyone once again to get vaccinated or stay away from me. Go in your own colony, spread it amongst yourselves, and die. I don't care. If you're going to be that stupid, natural selection will work. So I know it's kind of a short episode this week. I just really had to get those things off my chest. And I look forward to seeing everybody next week. Thank you for hanging with Uncle, and take care, everybody.